All right. So you've had this little baby for 3 weeks now, right? How long has it been?
3 weeks and 1 day. Welcome to our new reality.
I don't think, I don't know what day it is. I don't know what time it is. I don't know anything anymore. I just know, like, we have a doctor appointment and this is all we're doing. This is what's focused on.
Yeah, it's our whole entire world. How do you feel?
I feel good. How about you? Actually, no. How would you describe it? Because, most people, when you ask them, how do you feel after having a baby, it's always like tired or stressed or stuff like that. What would your answer be that isn't in those two categories? How would you describe what the last 3 weeks and 1 day have been?
Well, it's been an emotional roller coaster for me. And it's just been a whole new world, truly. World turned upside down. It's like watching the video that we created the night before we had him. I'm like, who is that person? It's so crazy. And then now having him for 3 weeks in a day, not knowing what day it is, just knowing we have to try to help this little guy out and becoming a good human. It's just been crazy. And everything that they say, I feel like in general, is pretty true. The things that they say about having a kid or how it changes you, and you never feel something like it. So I don't know if that answers your question, but it's just a whole new view. It changes your entire life. My life has been changed. How about you?
No, yeah, I mean, it's definitely an emotional roller coaster, and it definitely is a life-changing thing. Like I said before, too, it's like no matter how much you prepare for this, nothing can even like come close to what you feel and what you experience. At least during your first child, I don't know I don't know how to feel after like the next couple if we go that route, but at least with the first child, it's like everything that we thought we knew, everything that we learned, everything that we prepped for, none of it really mattered because we got hit with everything like right away. Like, went to the hospital at 5 o'clock in the morning. 7:30 went into the procedure room, and by 8 a.m. I'm holding our son, and they're like, "It's your baby now," and I'm like, "Oh dear." It's been a lot, but I mean, I don't know. What's something, now that you have experiences for about 3 weeks compared to, the 9 months we spent, before this, is there anything that you would change or you would focus on or anything that you would do differently?
I mean, looking back, knowing what I know now, there are things that you feel like, oh, maybe I should have done this or that or learned this or that. But every day I feel like is a learning lesson, and we're going to be making mistakes along the way because no parent is perfect, and there's no one right way of raising a child. Everyone has to really learn on their own, and you take what you grew up with and what you were raised by and with, and take that into you raising another person. And I don't know if I would change anything, but one thing that I know I wish I did a little bit more of was look into the breastfeeding stuff, because that has been such a journey in this 3 weeks. But other than that, I wouldn't change anything per se. This journey is the journey that we make it, and whatever is meant to be, I believe, is always meant to be. So I'm just so glad that we're here, healthy, and we're able to get through this, and that we have you and each other and our family and our village. It's just been a really great time. And even though I've had hard times with my emotions, I'm still very grateful. And I think the emotional part of it is part of the journey. So I don't regret anything that I've felt or gone through.
And I think that's a good thing to kind of go into next is on the emotional side of things, especially as a mom, a first-time mom. There's a lot of things that you've had to go through, and depending on how comfortable you are sharing whatever you want to share for this next question, it's like what would you say is like the hardest part so far of being a mom, a first-time mom?
Um, the hardest part, I mean, it's more so what society or what other people expect from you, or what social media makes it pan out to be. You don't expect any of it, I think. It just hits you all at once. You have a whole new human to take care of, and everyone's telling you this and that one way or another. Advice that is solicited and not solicited. So, comments and things that are being said, and I know it's all being said, out of goodness, and people want to help you, but also I'm navigating this, right, with him and you, and just feeling all the feels and wanting to do the things that I feel like I think are right for him versus what others think is right for him, or what the world says is right. I think that's the hardest part, because you want to like do what is best for him and your child, basically, and your family, but then also hear all these things from other perspectives and other people. And I'm grateful for all the advice and tips, but also there are some comments that I feel like just kind of mess with you as a new caregiver and person that has to take care of a child. So I think that's the hardest part, because I want to do what's best for him, but there's just so much that's coming your way. Hormones, other people, outside factors. And then I feel like, I can only speak for myself, but I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself because of what other people are saying. And when I have spoken to other moms, it's very common. Like, everyone says the same thing. So, I'm not alone in that, but I know that that's just what I've been feeling as far as a new mom. What about you as a new dad?
Yeah. And I mean, I know also, like, not saying, like, for all the people that give advice or comments or whatever, like, unsolicited or not, like, definitely do that, because we've gotten amazing advice at times, but also really bad advice at times, or just, like, comments that make no sense when, like, for example, like, one of the best ones is, we just fed the baby and then we hear the baby's hungry. No, the baby probably has gas or something like that. Like, you got to burp the baby out. There's like a million other things it could be. Well, technically it's like 3 or 4 things. Like, either baby's got to eat, baby's got to poop, baby's got to sleep. But, it's also another thing too, like, when we are like constantly being surrounded by people and every single person has advice. So, like, after a while it kind of adds up. So, like, we're not being like negative Nancy's about this, saying like, don't tell us what to do. Like, no, we definitely need help, but it's also like, sometimes some things like just aren't said at the right time. So, like, understandably, so like there's that frustration. But I mean, the hardest part so far for me is, is basically seeing you go through, as like a husband, like as someone that's been, your partner for a long time. Like, my job has been to take care of you as much as I possibly can, but this is unfortunately like a journey or like a struggle or a pain that you have to go through a lot on your own when it comes to like the giving birth aspect or the breastfeeding aspect, the feeding stuff. Like, there's not much I can do for that, because I don't make milk out of my boobies. I can't give birth. So it's been difficult to see you go through that. So it's something that I've been trying to do my best, is to support you in any and every way I can. And it's also me taking on a whole new responsibility of being in charge of this person, not only just you, but this little human being's, welfare. So to add that responsibility while also, oh, hey there.
Hello.
Sorry, he knows we're talking about him. It's also difficult to navigate, because not difficult to navigate, but something new to navigate, is that we've spent our entire lives, making decisions based on us. What we want to do. Where do we want to vacation? How many times do we want to go to Disney in a year? Now it's like, we can't go outside until we make sure he's fed. We can't, we don't want to go here because there's too many people and he's not, he's still brand new, no vaccines, no nothing like that. So it's a whole new, world of decision making that we have to navigate now, and it's fun. It's got its challenges, but it's definitely fun. But I would say that's the hardest part for me is just to, as a husband, as a partner in this situation, to do everything I can to make sure you have the easiest journey possible.
Yeah.
There's not much I can do because no matter what, it's going to be hard.
But you've been doing such a great job. You're the best husband and the best partner and dad I could ever ask for, and he could ever ask for. You've been so helpful, especially with me having a C-section. I think that was one of the hardest things for me to kind of navigate through because in the beginning it felt like I couldn't do anything. I literally could not get up and walk, and I can't lift stuff. Literally, you're doing the laundry, the dishes, cooking, diaper changing, cleaning, literally everything. So I think that part for me was really hard too, because I don't want to put you through like so much when I already know you're doing so much and you're doing your best. And so I just want to thank you for everything that you've done and are doing and will do and have done. You're the best. I'm so lucky.
Doesn't matter what I'm doing or how much I'm doing, because you're doing the main thing of feeding this little child. You're the chef in the house now. He's surviving off of you. He's growing off of you.
So crazy. I mean, yeah, breastfeeding is hard, and a lot of people aren't able, so I feel really lucky that I'm able to. And it is really a journey, that's for sure. I'm thinking one day to talk about it on a video, possibly, but it's so hard. And I know at the end of the day, a fed baby is, what matters most. But I didn't realize how much the breastfeeding versus formula, weight gain journey is for a baby. Like, I literally didn't even think about any of that stuff while I was pregnant. So that was a lot on my mental health and stuff like that. So I can see why postpartum depression or like things like that afterwards, especially if people don't have a village or they don't have help or, a partner that's willing to help. Like, I can see what makes that so difficult. So, it's a lot to navigate and learn and handle, but I think that, like everyone's been saying and that you've been saying, is that we're a great team. And I think that's what helps us, that we're trying to communicate. And I apologize sometimes when I can't, because it's hard to regulate my emotions, especially with hormones and stuff.
Yeah.
But even it's very stressful.
Yeah.
I mean, as much as people say to give yourself grace, it's hard to, because I think when you're raising a whole nother human, I think it's just going to get harder, and it's going to ebb and flow. It'll get easier, but also harder.
Oh, yeah.
But everyone says, like, you blink and they're 1 year, and then you blink and then they're going to college. So I'm like, I want him to stay this little for a long time.
Yeah, especially because, we've been constantly taking a plethora of pictures and videos of him, and we're getting pictures from other people. Like, we can slowly start seeing the changes already, and it's like, it's already kind of scary and exciting, like scary, like he's not going to be this small forever and we're never going to see him in this stage again. But also exciting because, I'm excited to see what he looks like, how he is, how he acts. Is he going to be a quiet baby, a crazy baby? It's going to be that's one thing to look forward to.
Yeah. I love his little hands and little toes and his little nose. He's so cute.
Yeah.
He's half of me and half of you. It's so crazy.
Hopefully more you than me. But what would you say so far to, end things on a light note? What's your best funny story so far with him?
Best funny story? Well, I don't know. Just maybe the first time he ever blew out on me. Basically, I mean, people always talk about blowouts and stuff like that, but it was to go to our first doctor's appointment, I believe. And we were running like a little behind, but not so much. But also, his dad shows up at the door, like last second, and we're like in the middle of trying to pack things up, and then I'm breastfeeding him just to make sure he's fed before we go, and then all of a sudden, like I knew he farted, but like I didn't realize he like pooped through the diaper, and it was like all over the boppy pillow, all over my thigh, and I didn't realize it was on my thigh though, till you told me that it was on my thigh when we got out of the car. You were like, "You have poop on your thigh."
Yeah.
So that was a pretty memorable, funny moment. First time ever blowout.
Yeah, a lot happened at once, and we weren't expecting it. But the fact that I think that was like one of our early lessons to learn is like, especially in this beginning stage with the diapers until we get it, we size up, is that poop can come out of the backside top. Like it can come out of any side, no matter how good you are with diapers. It'll come out.
The poop and the pee.
Oh my god.
Oh my gosh, he's peed on so many people. And me twice today.
I think that's one of my favorite things is he just pees on everyone.
Yeah.
And it's not like the diaper's wrong. We're doing the diapers right. It's just somehow.
Well, I posted a post on Instagram and everyone was giving us tips and advice. And the number one thing was to point his pee-pee down.
Which we do.
What we've been doing. But he's still leaking through the diapers.
Yeah, what now we're hearing is that he needs to size up potentially. So, because he is pretty heavy, I guess. I don't know.
Well, he's on the heavier side now. Apparently, they don't stay newborn for quite that time because they all get bigger.
Yeah.
Like, babies get bigger pretty quickly. So, maybe it's time to size up. What about you? What's the most funniest story you have so far?
Funny story.
In the last 22 days. 22 days.
22 days. I don't know. I mean, I feel like blowouts are always just funny because we're immature adults that's in charge of this child.
You like his faces and the sounds he makes and all the pictures you take of him.
Yeah, I mean, the first moment that comes to the top of my head that like makes me laugh.
When he sharts or farts and he makes a face.
I mean, those are always good too. No, I think it's honestly like, it's kind of a mixture of a few moments, but we have a lot of close friends that have come to see him and hold him. But we've also had a lot of close friends that aren't really fans of babies, nor did I think they would want to ever hold a new baby or newborn specifically. So to have some of our close guy friends come and hold the baby and then for him to pee. So I think like specifically like with AJ, that's my favorite.
That was your favorite moment.
That was one of my favorite ones because I was so happy to see AJ hold him, and it was like a
proud moment of yours.
It's a proud moment too because I'm looking at AJ as like a role model for him and all that stuff, and then seeing him hold our baby, because I remember talking to him before too, like he's not really a fan of holding babies, so then for him to willingly take him, hold him, and just be super chill and cool with him, and then for Zane to just pee on him, just let me down, like he came in with such a nice outfit too, and he peed on his outfit. I'm like, oh, he can't wear that shirt ever again.
He's just marking his territory on Uncle.
Yeah, he's like, that's my uncle forever.
Oh, yeah, that was funny. Oh my gosh, that was funny.
It was so embarrassing.
Probably because I think it was because like too, we were like, just the way it happened. We're just like because his shirt was wet and I think he thought he was sweating or something. I don't remember. Something like, it was just really funny when we were like, did he pee on you? Because I think that was the first time he ever peed on someone.
It was one of the first time. I mean, he's peed on us like
times.
numerous
Somebody, not us.
Yeah, but like I was like, oh no.
But it's okay. Babies do what babies do.
Baby's gonna do what baby's gonna do.
It's been a whirlwind, but I wouldn't, trade it for anything else. And I love you guys so much.
Love you guys too.
So he's the best, and I can't wait to grow up with him.
Yeah, I don't know when we'll film this next part, but it took 3 weeks to get back to this. So I mean, let's pretend it's gonna take another 3 weeks. But what do you think's gonna happen?
We'll see.
Anything you're looking forward to in the next 3 weeks?
Well, he's gonna grow. We'll be,
I hope,
at 6 weeks, and we'll have our 6-week follow-up. And hopefully everything is going well at that point. I hope that my body fully recovers by then, because I still have like pain sometimes and headaches and things like that. And I just kind of want to get into a routine of stuff, hopefully. Like, it's getting better with each day, but some days I'm like, oh my gosh, why is he crying? Or like, there's only a couple things that he could be crying about, but like, really, why are you crying so hard right now?
Yeah.
Or like, he was just cluster feeding today so much, which he hadn't been doing for a while. So yeah, just a lot of new milestones. I hope he can pick up his head on his own by then, and he's just gonna get stronger every day. So I'm excited to see what the future has for us. What about you?
I mean, I'm excited to see what new things he does, what milestones he hits, but also I go back to work soon, so it'll be interesting. That's a new, like, I feel like every day is a new stress, or not a stress, but a new kind of obstacle for us to figure out and, maneuver and manage. So when work comes up, I mean, luckily I work from home, so that shouldn't be too bad, but it'll be interesting because there'll be a few hours a day that you'll have to,
Be without you?
Yeah, I mean, like, not really, like, be without me. I'll be, like, upstairs in a meeting, like, in a Teams call, so, like, it's not like I'm gone, but it'll be interesting to manage and kind of give us a glimpse into what life will look like once we go back to work.
Yeah, because that's tough. I was telling him, I don't know how people go back to work with the whole cute human being they have to take care of, but also other people say, you're going to want to go back to work. So we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, I mean, I know we'll probably... we don't want to say now, especially right next to him, but, like, we want to spend every second with you. But I'm sure there's a point where we'll be like, we'll enjoy those breaks. Especially, like, you'll have a break from me and him. You'll have your own time. Like, time alone by yourself, time alone with your friends. So, time alone with your coworkers if they are considered your friends. I don't know. So, like, I know those moments will be moments you actually like and cherish, but for now, I mean, I can't imagine going back to work, and I can't imagine doing anything else besides, like, our routine between us two, or us three.
I know, because what I have read before is, like, a lot of people miss this stage, like the newborn stage, with their partner, because it's literally just you, your partner, and your baby. Well, especially when it's your first. Like, it's just the three of you in your own world. Literally, our own world. I know nothing. I know not what time of day it is or what day it is. I don't know what's going on in the world because news has just been crazy. And I just can stare at him all day long.
Yeah, that's one of the things I cannot stress enough. We both got very lucky with our situations where we both had time off from work. So, you have your 12 weeks, I have my 5 weeks. That means we get this dedicated time to just the baby and us and just figuring things out. And,
it's going by fast.
It's going by so fast. But it's also something, like, I really appreciate that we have, and something I'll probably always look back on, like,
yeah,
we had all this time together, just us three.
Yeah. It's... Oh!
Sorry.
He jerked.
Oops, sorry. I don't know. It's also like... Sorry, dude.
He opened his eyes.
Sorry, dude. I'm being scary. Trying to talk here. Make a video.
Going back to him.
I don't even know what I was trying to say. I forgot now.
What were you saying? You were saying something.
I don't know what I was saying. Affogato. I don't know. I'm just excited. We'll see what happens.
Yeah. Our whole lives changed, but I'm just so glad. I'm so glad for it. Even though it's hard, I feel so blessed and lucky to have you and him here. Because I had no idea how it was going to go, how the C-section was going to go. That was crazy.
That was wild.
I can't believe that he came out in like 15 minutes. That's wild.
Yeah. We should probably share the C-section. Are you going to do a separate video on that one day?
Yeah, I'll probably do a separate video on it.
I'll just give my quick perspective on it because it's just funny. Time to go to bed, but we don't even go to bed at a normal time anymore. the whole C-section thing was like crazy because we show up at the hospital like early or a little late, but like they didn't even take us in for a while because the nurses forgot about it, or there was some miscommunication. They didn't take us in, but whatever. We go into this room, they start prepping us, and then the nurse that did an IV on Giselle was like, bless her heart, she had a wonderful accent and it seemed like a funny person, but man, she messed up that IV. So like Giselle's like dripping blood on the floor in front of me, and I'm just like watching like, what's going on? She's like bleeding from her wrist. I'm like, is this a sign of what's to come? But everything luckily worked out. We had such a sweet, amazing team around us, and then we go into, the surgery. They take her in before me at 7:30, and I'm just chilling there for like 16 minutes in the coldest room possible, while wearing like those really thin scrubs. Bring me into this room, and I just see Giselle like T-arm just laying there and just out of it, and they're drugging her up and stuff like that. And one of the things that, as the partner or the dad in the situation, when you go into that, like they tell you, bring your phone, just only pictures, nothing else. But then like I walk in, there's like a bunch of people with cameras like just recording everything, because a little backstory is that the L&D nurse that was in charge of Giselle at the time was a friend of hers, so she just hooked us up with everything nice possible, like, and just had her coworkers filming for us, so we have a bunch of angles of everything, way too many angles. But the main thing is like, I was so focused on you and making sure you were okay, that when the baby came out, I was like, oh, cool, baby's out, baby's crying. Let's take care of a baby. There's like 5 different nurses on the baby. Let me make sure you're okay. Like, because you're just like passed out there. She still has her glasses on. The mask that they had for you for like your ventilation wasn't even put on properly. It just kept slipping down. I was like, what's going on here? Like, I know the focus on this, C-section and getting the baby out, but like no one was there for you. I'm like so worried about you, but you're a trooper. You went through it all. You knocked it out. Gave birth to this little dude. And then within a day, you're walking in the hospital and the nurse doesn't even know what's going on.
Yeah. It was wild. What a wild time. I'm gonna hopefully remember it forever.
Yeah. I don't know if you remember those first 2 days because you were drugged up.
The very first day, I don't remember much. I just remember waking up, sleeping, waking up, sleeping. They tried to get me to sit up and walk, but I just would vomit every time, so I couldn't. But that first day was wild. Yeah. The second day, I was able to get up, took a shower. The nurse didn't even recognize who I was. She's like, "Are you my patient?" I'm like, "Yeah, I'm your patient," because I showered and I looked like a normal human being that after I showered. But it was a crazy 2 days in the hospital. We had the C-section. We stayed one night, and then we stayed another night. So we went in on a Wednesday, and we were discharged on a Friday. Yeah. Luckily. I know people who stay in hospitals for, like, a whole week after a C-section. So we are so lucky that we got to go home.
Even, like, looking back at it, like, I was only gone for, like, maybe an hour just to go home and shower, or, like, and change my clothes in that entire, like, 2-day span. Yeah. But, like, man, that went by so quick.
Yeah. Honestly, I was like, maybe I should have stayed another day, but it's fine. I recovered at home.
Yeah, I mean, we were pushing to come home because we wanted to just be home and go through the process at home and in our own comfort. But, I mean, it worked out, luckily.
Yeah, and now we've been here ever since.
Yeah, I do like how we chose to do this, talk with you on the couch with that one.
We were trying to put him down, and I was like, babe, we could just do the film. He's already sleeping, so let's just film it with him here.
Yeah. So what you're going to learn as a new parent, if you're not a parent yet, or if you're becoming a parent, whatever, wherever you are in the journey, you're going to learn that your baby may or may not like sleeping at night, and ours doesn't like sleeping at night. And so we'll have him next to us. Like, we got 3 hours last night, so that's like our biggest so far, but yeah, the minute you put him down in a bassinet will not last for more than 10-15 minutes. But if you hold him, are you going to make an appearance? If you hold him or something like that, he'll sleep for hours. Like, our grandparents come in, like, they'll hold him for 3 hours straight, which I don't think is a good thing because he needs to eat. But they want to do it for some reason.
Yeah, your whole life revolves around your little human being.
Yep.
And he makes the decisions now.
He's the man of the house. All right.
Yay.
Let's go put this little one to sleep and
We'll
put you to
see you
sleep.
guys in the next video.
All right.
Thanks for being here. Love you. Thanks for being the bestest.
Ooh.